Good evening, folks. What we're going to do this evening is quite an important job. We are going to take apart this Pektron body control module, and we are going to test the relays individually. We're going to test all the relays and have a general inspection. I'd rather want to do this myself before I condemn anything about this unit. The first thing I've noticed, and I didn't notice this when we were moving it from the car in the last episode, is what on earth is this? I could just wipe it away. That's come off the plug. So I'm going to have to see that connector there is a bit. Oh, no, it might be the. There we are. That's the one. That's a bit dirty. That cannot help. So I'm going to have to clean the connectors on the car. That will not help this from doing its job. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to consult a diagram on, I think it's the Pektron repair website, and it now labels the relays and what they do. So we're going to get the casing open before we start cleaning. There's tabs on that side. On the back side there's two, one in the corner, one there and two there. So we just press them in with a flat blade screwdriver and we'll get the casing open. The best way of doing this, by the way, is coming from the back side and just pressing in the side and then pushing it out, and eventually it will pop out. Right, so that's been pressed off. Just lift off the casing, put that aside. Okay, now we have the. I think this is just. Is it just held in? Oh, yeah. It comes all the way out. There we go, and we can confirm that it has the original Pektron relays, infamously unreliable. Okay, right, so looking at the relays, I've had a quick glance and there's nothing obvious that looks really bad. I mean, particularly on this side as well. All the soldered joints seem to be absolutely fine, no dry soldered joints, which is good. Now, as far as I'm aware, this one, fogs and horn. They all do two different things, by the way. So this is fogs and horn. That works. Front and rear washer pumps. They also work. Driver's window. I believe that's the only thing that does actually. This is the one we're concerned with. It is the intermittent wiper and super locking. I don't know. I didn't test the super locking, although the deadlock inside the car didn't work, but I don't know if it works when you're in situ. It needs to be running. I'm not sure about that. And the central locking, which we know that works. But this one is the one we're concerned about. And it is the one that's actually quite clean. So that rules that out. But these plugs here, that definitely needs a clean. Now, there is a way of testing each of these relays. Right, I'm going to just show you this piece of information that I've got in front of me. Again, this is from Techno-Frozen Electronics. Okay, this is the place I'll probably end up going to. This is a fantastic piece of information about the Pektron units. Now, it just says here, the relay coils going open circuit is the usual cause of failure. Each relay coil has two connection pins, and a simple test is to measure the resistance with a multimeter. The working resistance is 170 to 220 ohms. So on your multimeter, I believe setting it to 2K, okay, 2000 ohms, and that will get you what you need. So here is a diagram of the connection. Now what we have to do is we have to measure across pins 8 and 4 and 3 and 4 for the other. There's two sides of the coil. Now, I'll just point out 3, so we've got the two sides. So pins 8 and 4, so 8, 4. I'll show you this over here. Eight and 4, and then the other one is 3, this one here, and 4. Okay, those are the two contacts. Test them. just a little note on the back side, it's because that one is basically going this way. These are going to have to go in the other way, so you're going to have to test in the other way. But we'll do this one first. Now this one I believe is the fogs and horn. Now we know this one works, but we're just going to test the actual connection pins together. So touch that pin, done. 221, perfect. That's at the top end of the range. 220. Swap over, make sure you've got a good connection. 223, okay, just slightly over spec, but that's absolutely fine. Right, next one. Right, the next one in the video, this one I believe controls the front and rear washer. Now again, we know those work, so again this is just a simple case of testing. Now this one, we just turn it on the back side. Okay, now we've tested that one, we've tested those pins here, 1 2 3 going across. Now the next one is a bit back to front, so I'm going to show you. So we're testing that pin and that pin and that pin and that pin. Okay, that's where this relay sits, so I'll do that now. So it's important that we do one, we're testing this one and this one. Okay, so test that one, touch 226. Okay, again slightly above but not too far out the range. 225, again slightly above the range but not by much. That's not a massive cause concern. I'd take it that 10-20 ohms is a bit too much, but that is a working relay as well. So this is kind of giving us an idea that they're not exactly in spec with what I've been told on that website, but they're okay. Okay, so we've done that one, where are we, camera? We're doing this one, the next one down, the driver's window. Now this one takes an awful lot of power. Again, it's orientated exactly the same way. So on here, if you come down, just get it. I'm just trying to get it in front of the camera for you so you can see. So we've done that relay. We tested those 3 pins. Now that's where it stops. This is the next relay, this one. Okay, so we're going to test this to this and then this to this. Okay. Okay, so we start here. Just touch it. 222. Just try a different direction. 222. I always try and move it around just to see if it gives a different result. That's perfectly fine. We know this relay works as well. Try getting at a different angle. 226. Again, they're all roughly around the same sort of spec. Now this could be, and I will say this could be due to temperature. A lot of relays and a lot of electrical items, they work off temperature, so the ohms resistance would be different at a certain temperature. So now we're going to go to the next one. So we've done those 3. Now the next one is the suspect one. It is the intermittent wiper motor and super locking relay. Okay, this might be quite interesting, so hold that steady. Oh, 221. Try a different angle. 222, 221. Well, that's fine. Now, I've got to be careful because they're actually quite close together, these two. Oh, 223. Oh, dearie me. That is a surprise. Right. I've got to hook this battery up and test the super locking because, well, according to this, that is a working relay. It's not an open circuit. That is a working relay, the same as all them, same ohms. Ooh, okay. That could be an interesting I wonder why it's not working then on the intermittent setting. As I say, I could hear the relay clicking, and that gave me some reassurance, but sometimes they click and they don't work. That could be... I don't think it's a switch issue, because when you open the switch, this would get power. The relay would get power from the switch through the fuse box. So you got the switch, I believe it's the fuse, then the switch, then the relay. Okay, that could be quite an interesting issue. But if it's not the interlock, if it's not the if there's no issue with the super locking, then there could be a specific issue with the wipers. I'm going to have to look into that, but that's quite promising. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the last one is the central locking relay. Interesting. This also takes quite a bit of power. And again, it's orientated exactly the same way. We are simply testing. Oh, hold on. Don't confuse the two, Andrew. 1, 2, 3. These four here are nothing to do with them. 1, 2, 3. Remember, all the relays we're testing, apart from the one that's orientated differently up here, they're all straight. It's literally 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's how I'm now remembering it. So we're going to try again, inspect, try a different angle on the solder. Again, it's in spec. Try this one. 2, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3. Exactly the same way. Well, I'll tell you something. That's fantastic news in one respect. I'm going to have to test the super locking, but that's curious because when they failed, it's an open circuit, so clearly it's not failed. That's quite interesting because this is the known fault of this circuit, but this module, sorry. So that could be interesting. But this is how you basically test the Pektron relays. It is such a common problem. The relays are easy to change if you know how to desolder and do it properly. I don't trust my skills in this area as such. I think it could be quite could be a tricky job with a couple of them. There is nothing here. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to get my fiberglass pen and some contact cleaner and just gently clean all this up and put it back together. Now, all these relays are fine, which is actually quite rare. They are more prone to going wrong than not. Now, some people might say, well, you've done the hard bit, you've taken it out, send it off to have all them replaced now. Truth is, I'm not going to do something that doesn't need to be done, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, if I have symptoms and they start failing or going wrong, then fine, I will get it out again. I don't mind doing that. You've seen how easy it is to strip down the interior when you get going. And I've shown you how to do it, well, sort of, in a rather, well, put it this way. I didn't look at the manual, and I haven't looked at the manual for a lot of this. I've looked for some things like torque settings and particular trim panels, etc. And it's given me a point of direction. But overall, no. So this is how you test a Pektron unit. Yeah. So if any of yours are open circuited, I would recommend that you go to what's it called now? It's called Techno Frozen Electronics. Okay, I think it's well known within the Rover scene. The guy who owns the company is really good, and he'll sort these out. He'll replace all the relays, and he can program keys. And that's another thing I don't need, because both of the keys are programmed, which is absolutely fantastic. This is clearly this one here, even though it hasn't got the fob release, clearly it's got the internals of a 435, because this is a 435. I don't know if it can actually tell me. No, it just tells me the date there, 23rd of the 0704. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I mean, I would have preferred if the relay actually had been faulty, because it'd be obvious what the problem was. But now I'm thinking, is there something else? I can make do without the intermittent wiper, but I'd like to know why it's not working. So we'll go from there. I hope this video was really helpful. I don't think there was anything else in particular on YouTube about these Pektron units, but mine seems fine. And I hope if you've come here to get some information on how to test yours, I hope yours turns out fine too. If not, don't worry, about 50-60 quid later you've got a brand new one with new relays. Just wait about a week for the replacement module. See you soon, guys. Take care.